Hey, watching family. I'm just doing a quick upload. Holly had put out a post just saying she had another vision of the coming darkness, and she said she's going to do a video regarding that, which is so good. And I think it's important because the Lord is speaking to us, and so I thought I should get mine out as well, and hopefully I think most people have got theirs out already, because the Lord is warning. He's so faithful, and in accordance with his word, he is letting us know that this is indeed coming. And never in my dreams has he said 3 days of darkness, but he has definitely shown the darkness. And we see the pattern in the Bible. We see in Exodus, it was 3 days of gross darkness, darkness that could be felt. They could not go anywhere, move. They were there in this physical, spiritual darkness for 3 days. And then we have Jesus in the grave for 3 days. And then we have Jonah in Sheol for 3 days in darkness. And we have Paul for 3 days in darkness until the scales fell from his eyes. So we certainly have a pattern in the Bible. And so the fact that God has shown some people that it is 3 days, I would not be surprised if it is. But at any rate, we know it's a darkness that is coming, and it is the beginning of a new era with God, or a new dispensation. And so anyways, I have three, and the last two were just recently, and the one before was, I believe, last year. So the first one from last year was, we were all inside, and the darkness had already come. And I looked out the window and I said, oh, look, this is so weird for me because, again, I do not think of skies or eastern, western, north, south, or anything like that, or Venus, but I said, look, Venus is right to the right of the moon, the crescent moon. Venus is to the right. And then somebody in the room with me, it was our neighbors were here, and it was dark. There was no electricity, no nothing, just, and anyway, and then she said, oh, but look in the western sky then. What, isn't that the moon, or what is that? So I looked into the western sky and I saw this huge moon planet type of thing. I don't know what it was, but and then we turned back to the eastern sky, and there was like this pink rectangular note on top of the Venus and the crescent moon. There was like a note on top of it, and it's wiped from my memory what was on the note. But I did proclaim, this is, what's that called when they are doing that? Oh, I forget what it's called. But I said, this is the great delusion. This is the great delusion. So somehow in my dream, I recognized that whatever was going on in the sky was part of a delusion. And that was the end of that dream. The sense inside the house was safe and fine. We did not feel scared or anything. The next dream that I had was recently, and me and my family were out in the yard, just cleaning up the yard, doing things around the yard, and all of a sudden I saw a cloud. And actually this dream came after the other dream because of what I said, but I saw this cloud, and it kind of reminds me of like rolling smoke. It was like rolling, a live cloud rolling, and you could just think it was smoke. But in my dream, I said, oh, this is that cloud that I saw in my dream. The darkness is coming. And we right away got to action, got the stuff we needed in the house, closed all the doors, closed all the windows. And we got so excited because we knew the rapture was coming. So that was that. And then the next one was, we were out and about, my family and I, we were in our big van, And my husband went into some place to do some errands, which is real in real life, that we were waiting in the van. So we were sitting there waiting, and all of a sudden, I saw a small cloud lower down in the sky, and it was dark, and it looked like it. I don't know, in my spirit, I just knew it meant darkness was coming. It was a sign that darkness was coming. And so I noticed across the street where we were sitting that was a person that I knew, that was a woman of God. And I thought, I got to go to her house and ask her. So weird how dreams are. But I went to her, I knocked on the door, and I said, does that mean the darkness is coming? And she said, yes, come here, take a look. So we went up in her house, and then we looked out the window, and the cloud was getting bigger. And it was kind of doing that same thing, like a rolling smoke kind of cloud, but thinner, like mesh almost. I don't know how to say it, but you could see through it, but it was black, very black, and just creepy feeling. And so I said to her, are you sure? And she said, yes, look, close all the windows. She said, close all the blinds, close it up. And I went to one of her other windows and I didn't close it. And instead I just kept watching it like, are you sure? And instead of closing the blinds, I kept staring at it. And weirdly, the cloud came and it formed a hand and it knocked on the window like three playful, like a cat after a mouse type of a very sinister knock. And I was like, and then I closed the blinds. And then the darkness came, and I was thinking, oh no, I'm separated from my family. But then I realized, oh, but the rapture is coming right now, like really soon. And so both times I knew the rapture was coming. And in fact, in my children's dreams, that was also the case with them. They knew the rapture was coming. You just know it in your spirit. So anyways, those are mine, and I will share my children's in another video, and hopefully we can get these out to warn. There's nothing to be afraid of. It is definitely Isaiah 26:20. Get in your house, close the door behind you, because the indignation of the Lord is coming, but it passes over us, so we do not have to worry. It is we are in the safety of the Lord Most High, under his wings, under his shadows. We are in Christ, and there's nothing to be afraid of. In fact, we know that when we see that we're going home soon. And so like within, whether it's a day or two, we're going home soon. So look up, our redemption draws near. Love you all. Bye.